everyone, this is Gianna Castro, host of Women's Sports Matter. Just wanted to tell you a few things before we get into today's episode. Number one, this episode was recorded 2 weeks ago, which means not everything is up to date. For example, Houston did make the playoffs. However, Houston lost yesterday, along with the Chicago Red Stars. You can catch Kansas City playing against OL Reign and Portland playing against San Diego on October 23rd. There's an update for you. The second one is I want to give you a little update about this show. We have a few more interviews left before we say goodbye to season number 4. I'll have an ending episode. You'll know when it's the season 4 finale. So just wanted to give a little heads up about that show. I have a new podcast. We'll do a little self-plugging here. Number 3, I have a new podcast. It's for school. It's called A Transfer Student's Guide to Make Nebraska Feel Like Home. So if you want to listen to that, if you want to listen to me do other podcast stuff outside of Women's Sports Matter, you can go check that out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, along with Anchor. I don't know if I have any other updates. If you want to follow the continuing domino effect of the Yates investigation, make sure you're following me on Twitter at WSportsMatter, as long as my personal account at Gianna Bell Castro, where I will be constantly retweeting and talking about different things that have to do with this, as well as where we can go from here. I think that is it. I hope you're all listening to More Than 5%. And Don't Touch My Jersey will be making a comeback soon, in case you've been curious about what's going on with that show. And I have an announcement coming soon. Very excited to talk about that when I can. But for now, we're going to wait. And thanks for listening to this update. Now, here's Conversation O'Clock. Enjoy.
The return up for Parlow, leaves it off, here's Mearham, in the box, the shot, goal! She's got the record!
Hey everyone, my name is Sabria Whitaker and I'm the founder of Grow the Game.
Erica Piancastelli here, Tokyo 2021 Olympian.
This is Carly Jackson, professional goaltender for the Buffalo Buttes.
Hey everyone, this is Connor Moore, the social media manager of the Chicago Sky.
For the first time in franchise history, the Chicago Sky are WNBA champions!
You are now listening to
Women's Sports Matter.
Women's Sports Matter.
Hosted by Gianna Bell Castro.
Arike Ogunbowale wins the national championship for Notre Dame!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Women's Sports Matter, your one-stop shop for all things women's sports. My name is Gianna Bell Castro, and I am your host. Few messages today before we start today's episode. First of all, I would like to give a huge shout out to the 4 NWSL players who were a part of my September NWSL Player Series. That was a fantastic time to get to know different players from different teams, and I hope you enjoyed those episodes. Also, last week, we had the debut of More Than 5%, which is a new podcast, a part of the Women's Sports Matter podcast network, hosted by Carly Jackson, the goalie for the Toronto Six, or one of a few goalies, I should say. I'm just picking favorites out of the team. Shout out to Carly. And Zoe Hicks, who used to play college softball and is a employee of the Los Angeles Dodgers. I think one of their minor league teams. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed their first episode. They debuted on September 29th. I'm excited. You're excited. Everybody's excited. And I'm just super happy that they get to have a platform to talk about, the stuff that they're going to talk about. I've had meetings with them. It's been really cool for their vision for the show. And I hope you're as excited as me, because I'm really excited, if you couldn't tell. Anyway, Guess what? It's another interview or maybe a conversation. I don't know. Today is more laid back, you know? We're vibing today. My guest is gonna introduce herself now.
Hi, I'm Bianca Verar. I'm the brand marketing manager for the Houston Dash, and I'm very happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here too. We're about to have such a wonderful conversation. First of all, what is it like working for the Houston Dash?
Honestly, I absolutely love it. I was a teenager in high school when they came to the league. It was really what convinced me. I didn't even want to say convinced. It kind of just like solidified me working in women's sports and wanting to work in women's sports. And it was just one of those things where like it just felt right and everything lined up, and we've come a very long way from where we started, even from when I started working here a couple years ago. So it's always changing, nothing's the same, and it's a great time. Hold on, sorry, I'm gonna put him in the other room. Hey, come here. Yeah, take one of your toys. Over here. Hey there, bye. So sorry.
That is okay. It's going in the blooper reel. That's gonna take time to make. Because I've slipped up so much where I'll try to record stuff, I'll be like, and I have to restart because I trip on my own words. Anyway, Houston Dash. What a year they've been having. Even though as a Chicago Red Stars fan, I'm a little upset at the moment. Like, this will be outdated by the time this comes out, but like I'm very upset with what's been going on social media dissing the Red Stars, and I just like to say it doesn't make my heart too happy. Just gonna put it out there.
Shots are there, and you have to take them. So. I cannot take credit for stars being dimmed. That was all Katie Naughton and Michaela Bam. So.
Oh my god. Okay. You know what? That's okay. Katie Naughton. Love Katie Naughton. She's amazing. The Houston Dash, very interesting group. Love the stuff going on social media, by the way. From both the Houston Dash account and some of the players. Yeah. The players are hilarious.
They are funny. We have so many personalities. Sometimes it's a lot. There's too much going on at once, but they make my job very easy, so I'm very appreciative of that.
I remember, I don't know if this, because I get it mixed up, if it's the player posting it themselves or if it's like the Houston account. There's this video I'm thinking of, they're in a hotel and they're like trying to scare.
Yeah, we posted that on the team account. Okay. It was Bree and Katie hiding. They had like these weird, like the hotel we were in Tacoma. It was like these sheep that were just underneath the staircase for whatever reason. And I had come down to the lobby because I was like, let me get videos of the girls walking out to the bus for training, whatever. Bree Vazali comes up to me and she's like, I have a great idea. And I'm like, what? And she goes, how funny would it be if me and Katie just went and hid behind these sheep and started like making sheep noises when people walk by? And I was like, you know what? Why not? I have nothing else going on right now. And it was just so funny. Everyone was so confused. It was honestly their sheep noises were very realistic. I will give them that. Pretty good.
It was a great video.
Yeah, I literally laughed so hard at it. And then it kind of like did numbers too on TikTok. And I was like, wow.
That's where I saw it on TikTok.
Yep.
It was very funny. And there's a lot of, we'll say, class clowns on the Houston team. Is there any in particular that you're like, this is what you should go off for class clown? Like right there.
Oh, that's hard. Bree is definitely one of them, but she gets borderline, maybe let's not say that out loud, thoughts real quick. I think Michaela Bam is always cracking jokes, always making people laugh. Like, just such a genuinely, like, good-hearted, funny person. Like, you will always laugh when you're with Michaela, without a doubt.
There's a lot of great personalities on that team. I always look forward to, with any team, just the social media content that they put out. because the soccer's all serious, and then you see like players like doing just wacky stuff like the hotel thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, we have so many players that like come up to me and they're like, I have an idea for this, or I have an idea for that. And a lot of the time I'll be like, yeah, let's do it. Because they do have like very good, like funny, and even like personality pieces that we do. Like, they're very, I think I've gotten to a point with the players on this team specifically where they're comfortable enough to like pitch their ideas and say, hey, why don't we do this? Or like, we should try that. And like, it makes my job so much more fun when like the players in and they want to do it. And it's not like pulling teeth to ask them to make content. Like, it's a good time.
And that's how it should be.
Right.
It's really nice to see like the different sides of a player, like seeing them kick ass on the soccer field and then weird shit on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, if you guys don't follow Brie Vazzali on TikTok, she just posted like a really weird one with her dog. I highly recommend it. I think her TikTok's at Brie Vazzali. Just go watch it. I can't like reenact it for you. You just have to go watch it.
I haven't seen it, but after we're done here, I'm gonna go look it up and see what wacky stuff is going on there.
Let me know your thoughts, because there are many thoughts.
Okay. We'll jump into, how did you get a job with the Dash? Like, what was the process for that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I get this question a lot just because I do post about it on my TikTok. So people are like, oh, like, how did you get here? I don't know how to do this. And like, I feel like everyone's journey is very different. But for me, my biggest thing was just staying involved in the game at any level. So I mean, like in high school, I was like definitely an annoying like 17-year-old girl just constantly trying to be on the team in any way possible. Like, I'm pretty sure I shadowed our like managing, what was his title? Managing director, Brian Chang. He used to play for the Dynamo, but he was the managing director for the Dash for a little bit. I like shadowed him for a day. I was like a game day volunteer. So I'd been like around the organization growing up. And then in college, I was a freelancer for Babel USA and ended up kind of being the editor for their NWSL section, which wasn't really a thing until I came on board. So I was like doing media. I'd come home. I'd like fly home for games and like be here in the summers, like covering the NWSL, stuff like that. So I was always around the team and like started to like meet people there, and like obviously was managing at San Diego, so had people there that I knew. But I interned with the Dash. I think it was the summer before my senior year of college in 2018 with the communications department. I don't think at the time there was like a actual digital department, if I'm not mistaken, but like communications helped with social media at the time. So I got to do that for the summer, and then it was just fortunate enough that my spring semester senior year, there was a position in a digital department that opened up. Funny story, I didn't think I got the job at first because I went through the interview process. I thought it went well. I followed up. They followed up with me, and then I got, like on Teamwork Online when it says like when they close a position and like you get that, that's like you're like this position's been filled, whatever. So I got that, and I was like, well, I have 2 months until graduation, so this is good. This is great. Had a little mini mental breakdown about it because, of course, naturally I would. But they did get back to me a few weeks later, and they're like, sorry, it's been a while, but we were trying to figure out if we wanted to hire 1 or 2 people for this position. It ended up being 2. There was at the time, digital coordinator for the Dynamo, and then I ended up becoming the one for the Dash. So I did 1 more interview, and then I got offered the job like 3 days after graduation, and here I am.
Let's go.
What a journey.
Indeed. One thing that I am super worried about is after school, like, what the hell am I gonna do? Teamwork Online, your best friend? Is that what happened?
Yes,
yeah.
But I feel like it's changed a lot since I've graduated. I feel like I know there's like a Slack channel. I don't think I'm in it, but there's a Slack channel of like
Women in Soccer.
Yes. And then I think on Twitter too, like if you're connected in the Twitter verse of like women's sports or like sports creatives or that kind of thing in general, I feel like people are always posting positions.
Yeah, I try to retweet them as much as I can.
Same. I'm the same way. And then I think LinkedIn too, like if you're following or connected to the people in the industry too, there's always we are actually also, I don't know if this position is going to be filled by the time we put this episode out, but we're looking for a brand marketing manager for the Dynamo if anyone wants to go look at that on Teamwork.
I probably, 2 weeks from now. You never
Maybe.
know.
Who knows? If not, we can just cut that.
Be like, actually, it's closed.
Yeah. But
sorry. So it may or may not be open.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Find 2 weeks
but like, you should have seen it because you should be following Bianca.
That is true. Media. I did tweet it, and then I also posted on my LinkedIn, so it's out there. It's in the world.
It was there. You failed to see it, and that is on you.
Exactly. Can't say we didn't try.
Social media, huh?
Yeah, what a crazy, like, if you ask me what I thought I'd be doing, it's not social media.
Yeah. No, I get that 100%. Like, when I started my show, I was like, how am I going to promote this?
Right.
And so Twitter became my best friend.
As it does.
As it does. And so that's how I got more traction for my show, but I hated it because like I hated going on Twitter. I wasn't one to like post my thoughts because I was like, oh, I don't want to get hate for this, even though I know I'm right because I'm always right.
You know, at least you that's what matters.
But I was more of like, I'm gonna stick to Instagram, and that's the thing that I'm gonna do. And Twitter, I hate you. I'm not gonna use you. And I discovered, you know what would help your show out, Gianna, is if you post it on Twitter. And I was like, fine, I'll try it out, and it's gone okay.
It's decent. It's decent.
It's okay.
Just a couple of retweets here and there.
just a couple of follows from athletes and
there you go.
You know,
it's just
amazing people.
All in a day's work, you know?
All in a day's work. Yeah, me just constantly like retweet, follow.
It's a never-ending cycle.
The amount of time that I spend on social media is not good. It's not good.
I don't have my screen time on specifically for this reason.
I don't even check it.
I don't have mine. I never turned like when it became a thing. Like I didn't even turn it on because like I don't want to know.
Like, yeah. Well, I'm gonna find out right now how much time I spent today. Where is it?
Please let me.
Screen time. Today I spent 6 hours and 40 minutes. 7 hours and 40 on my phone. It just updated. Let's. I usually don't look at this. I just spent 2 hours on Twitter today on my phone, but I also looked at Twitter on my laptop. Yeah. So we're gonna say 2.5, maybe 3 hours on Twitter today, which is like,
you know, at least it's not just mindless scrolling on TikTok because I do that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, well, today I should have muted the notifications for the episode post that I did.
Yeah.
Because I would like go on there to like get the red bubble off the top right hand corner.
I hate the bubbles. I'm one of those people who like needs to clear her notifications. So I will open things and then forget to like respond. Like I am notorious for like forgetting to respond to people sometimes, and I'm like,
same.
I saw it. Like I'm my bad.
Yeah, I forget to respond to people all the time.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not personal. I just opened it and like mentally was like, let me reply to this in a second, and then never came back to it.
I'm the same way.
I just don't like having all the bubbles. Like,
yes, I get it. I totally understand 100%. What's your favorite and least favorite social media platform to use?
Oh, this is a good question. I think my favorite, probably complete opposite from you, is Twitter because it's just so funny. I will there's just so many little pockets of Twitter that you can like jump into.
Yes.
And it's like a surprise. And then when you follow all these different people from different pockets of Twitter, your timeline is like an absolute tire fire, but like a good one, like entertaining. But yeah, no, that'd be my favorite. I have met a lot of people through Twitter. A couple of my like really good friends are because I met them on Twitter, which is crazy to think about when you like really break it down. But no, I think Twitter is definitely my favorite. I think my least favorite, You know what? I'm gonna say this right now just because of one specific thing that bothers me about it, but it's Be Real. And the thing that bothers me about Be Real is there's no like notifications like button or like section. So like it'll tell me I have notification, like give me the alert. But then like when you open the app, you can't go find it. And like unless you click the actual banner itself, you cannot find what you're looking for. And it drives me insane.
I am not a Be Real user.
What?
I don't understand the point of it. Also, I would like to believe that I live a very boring life, and I don't think anyone wants to see me doing homework or
there.
whatever.
I will say a lot of people. So I have a younger sister, and then I have cousins that live in town. One of them's in high school. My sister just graduated college. They're the ones who got Be Real before me, obviously, because of course they are. But I went over to my cousin's place for dinner after like we had an evening training or something, and he lives like close by to where we train. And I was like, did you guys see my Be Real? Because it was the day we had a Noble, the cancer patient, signed with our club, like one of my favorite days. And my Be Real just happened to go off when I was editing photos. So I was like, this is perfect. But they're like, where's your Be Real? And they're like scrolling for a minute. And I was like, I posted it like when it went off. And they're like, no one does that. Everyone does it later. And I was like, what is the point of this app if you're going to post later? It's called Be Real. But yeah, that's my one gripe. I don't understand the use.
I don't understand the app. I'm not going to get it.
Okay.
I think it's dumb. And I'm just going to put that opinion out there.
That's fair. And I
leave it there.
You know, it's whatever. I did see this one girl on TikTok do a really cool Be Real. Like at the time it was supposed to go off. She was like on the water or something. I don't remember what she was doing, but it was like she took the picture and then everyone else was on the boat and she was like on the water on a board. It was pretty cool.
I think I've seen that.
That stressed me out though. I'm like, I'm gonna drop my phone.
I've seen ones where it's like they got celebrities to do it. I've seen the Harry Styles one.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, I'm like,
I wouldn't ask. Like, that's not what I like. If I met a celebrity, I would not be like, please be in my Be Real. That's not. I'd probably be like, hi, I love your work, and then move on because that's just not how I roll at all.
I think I'd be the same. I wouldn't I would get an actual picture, not like a stupid.
Yeah, not a little Be Real.
Yeah.
So sorry. That's cool or whatever, but like that's not how we operate.
I want to ask you about your time being a student manager. I just started doing that. And I'm also working in soccer because I want to work in the NWSL. And I thought, what a perfect way to possibly do that. Well, a nice little stepping stone. Can you talk about, your time working as a student manager?
Yeah. So fun fact, they had never had a student manager until I started going to school there.
Wow.
One of my really, really good friends, her name's Jenny, she was going to UC Irvine and I obviously went to University of San Diego, and like we both loved women's soccer, wanted to work in it. Like that was the goal for both of us. And she kind of just one day was like, why don't we just email like the coaching staff and see if they like need any volunteers or anything? And I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. So we both emailed, both heard back. I actually, fun fact, had never even gone to San Diego when I decided to go there.
Same thing happened here.
Really?
I'd never been to Lincoln, never been to Nebraska.
Wow. Yeah. So you get it. I was like, you know what, I'll go here. And then heard back and they're like, oh, like, would you be able to meet with us? And I was like, you know what, funny enough, my family and I are taking vacation in San Diego, mainly so I could go see the school in July or whatever. So I flew out, literally met with them. It was very clear they didn't really know what they wanted from a volunteer, and I was just happy to be there type situation. But like it went really well. And literally like a week after I went home, they're like, oh, do you want to come for preseason? And I was like, that's in 2 weeks. But yeah, I'll come. So I packed all my things and flew out to San Diego for preseason and was there all 4 years, and it was great. I loved it. I loved the teams that I worked with my 4 years, and like I think it was an interesting experience because they didn't really know what specifically my role was because they never had a manager. The athletics department, like the marketing athletics department, it basically was nothing when I started there. So it's kind of like a mix of like team admin duties, student manager duties of like equipment and stuff. Like it was a weird mix of things. And then eventually I got my hands on the team social media, and that's kind of where all of this turned into my career at one point. But like I was just like doing random things. Like I was doing team laundry at one point. I was getting snacks for the team. Like it was an interesting time. I don't look back and be like, sometimes I look back and I'm like, wow, that was some weird stuff that I like, not weird stuff, but I'm like, wow, I was really just doing random things at that time. But it was all part of experience. And I think that's kind of what sports is as a whole, kind of like we joke about it a lot, like other duties as assigned, but like that's honestly what sports is. And like it's not easy, but it gives you experience for sure.
Yes. With me, I had reached out to the coaching staff, I want to say in May.
Oh,
May
wow.
or June. Because I like planning things out in advance.
I mean, sense, yeah.
And one of my goals when I picked wherever school I was going to go to was that I wanted to be a student manager for a women's sports team. Because originally, when I was committed to go to Loyola Chicago, I was hired to be one of the women's basketball managers.
Oh, wow.
And so when I decommitted from Loyola and continued my wonderful journey through community college, I was like, wherever I go to school, I got to find a student manager position, because I don't know what else I would do as a job when I was at school. And I had emailed the coach. I emailed the secretary first, because I wasn't sure like the hierarchy of like who should I email. Never email the head coach, by the way. If you wanna get a job for your school's like team manager or whatever, never email the head coach. Either the assistant coach.
Yeah, look at the athletic director.
Yeah. Big brain moves.
Exactly.
But I had emailed the secretary and was like, hey, I was interested in being a student manager. And I did this for basketball, softball, and soccer. I was like, I would be fine doing either one or any of the ones that were available. And I only heard back from basketball and soccer. And so the soccer one I was more interested in doing, because I was really thinking about like, which would I like more, basketball or soccer? I love women's basketball, but I don't think I would want to work in women's basketball. I think I would love doing soccer more. There's just something about it. I like the vibe. That's how I'm gonna phrase that. And it was like a back and forth. Then the assistant coach had emailed me and like asked for my schedule and for my resume, and then like some references. And so I specifically, when I was setting up my my class schedule, because I know words, when I was setting up my class schedule, I made sure that I didn't have any classes in the morning, because I knew there would be morning practices and I wouldn't want to miss out on that if I were to get hired. And if I didn't get hired, I don't have to go to class in the morning. It's a win-win situation. It's a win-win. And so I don't hear back from the coach for a while, and I was like checking in every like 3 weeks. In July, I get a call from the assistant coach asking if I was still interested in the position. And so I had called him back and I was like, hey, I'm interested. I would love to interview for the job. And he had asked me to go down to the office. And I was like, I am in Illinois. I'm still home. But I was like, I can't do an interview until I officially move in, because I have a job that I'm still doing until I leave for school. And I got to Lincoln the day after I move in. I go do my job interview. They told me, they weren't really looking to hire another one, but somehow I got the job. So somehow I'm wearing my practice shirt, because I haven't changed from this morning when I went to practice. Go Huskers. But So I'm living the student manager life now. It's probably a lot different from when you were a student manager, but my job mostly is to set up stuff for practice.
Yeah, I did that too. So, fun thing about my experience is University of San Diego, if people don't know, is not a big sports school.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you have those UConns who have like 4 student managers, or like even Nebraska, you guys have 2. Like, no, I was the only one. So
I'm the 4th one.
Oh, you're the 4th one.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you guys are big time over there.
I guess so.
Yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, no, I mean, a lot of stuff was like practice stuff. I was filming games at one point. When when the San Diego Wave was still at Torero Stadium, and you would see like that weird angle of like the angle for the camera was like you could tell it was like something was obstructing the view. It was like a little, that's where I filmed from. I like saw that on like the first ever San Diego Wave game, and I was like texting all my friends. I was like, guys, look, that's where I was filming. Remember back in the day? Oh, it's so funny.
Student manager stuff is fun sometimes. I mean, I'm only a month in, so I really haven't experienced everything,
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even going on my first trip until, well, I guess by the time this comes out, I'll have already gone on the trip.
Oh, fun.
But at the end of the month, I'm going to Purdue and Indiana University. So I'm going to be away from here for 4 days.
Good luck to you guys.
I'm nervous about the trip. I don't know what my responsibilities are going to be.
You'll be okay. It'll be fine.
It
won't leave you high and dry. I would hope not. That'd be really bad. I don't think so.
At least like 2 other managers are coming with.
There you go.
But it's gonna be fun, I think.
Good. I'm glad. It'll be fun. We're saying it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a blast. This is future me saying I had a great time.
Exactly.
And I loved going to the amazing state of Indiana.
I've never been, so I can't.
Indiana's not fun.
Yeah, I have a friend who went to Butler, and very big Butler guy. That's about all I know.
Indiana. I've been to Indiana a few times.
Yeah,
not much going on. I mean, Indianapolis is kind of cool.
True.
I've been to Purdue once.
There you go.
I don't like the campus. I think the campus is boring.
Never seen it, so I'm not trusting on that.
I went to go visit my cousin, and I went to the Purdue Illinois game, and I hate Illinois, the school, but I also hate the state.
Okay,
well, we'll go both. I hate my home state. We'll go with that.
What a state!
But I hate the University of Illinois because I just have something against the school.
Okay,
I don't know. I just don't. It's like that one state school that you just hate. I feel like everyone has one.
Yeah.
Do you
I'm not going to sign publicly because I feel like they may or may not be a cult, and I feel like everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about when I say that.
I don't, but that's okay.
Everyone in Texas knows exactly what I'm talking about, so I'm just not going to talk about it.
Okay. But I just have a thing against the University of Illinois. And Purdue beat Illinois, the football game that I went to. And I was very happy about that.
Good.
The campus is just so lame. And I think it's just because it's in Indiana. If it was in another place, it would be better.
Yeah,
Indiana's boring.
I'm more of a campus where there are things to do type person. Like, not even just the campus, the city. Like, you have to be able to do things in the city. If you can't, I don't want to be there.
I mean, I can't really say much about Lincoln. I've only been here a month, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot to do.
Maybe you'll find things to do.
Maybe. People are like, go to the football game. No. Why would I do that? Why would I want to watch a shit show? Like,
that's fair. That's fair. Why would you do that to yourself?
Why do that when I can watch the amazing women's soccer team here at UNO? I'm just gonna shout them out,
There you go. You should.
Any team here is better than the football team. Final answer.
I take your word for it because I don't watch football, so
I don't watch it either. But I think my school, as of today, is 1-3.
Well, you can't win every single one, so
definitely not here. That's for sure. I've heard a lot about the volleyball games here. I haven't been to one yet. I would like to.
Okay.
Your school is doing well in volleyball.
They're very good. Yeah, I was friends with a couple of girls on the volleyball team when I was there, and they were so good at volleyball. Like, let me tell you, watching them beat like USC's, UCLA's like that, it's fun. They're a very good program, so I'm happy for them.
I think they're ranked, as of today, 11th in the nation.
I feel like you're right. I did see, so I still follow like the USD volleyball page, and I feel like that's right. If not, so sorry to USD.
I think, because I think the rankings came out yesterday. I do so much retweeting. It's like I think I see things.
News that I consume and then move on. So
we're gonna go 11th.
Okay, we'll go with that.
We'll go 11th.
Okay.
11 or 12.
Either
because I know it's either San Diego or Purdue. I don't know. It doesn't matter because by the time this show comes out, it'll be outdated anyway.
Exactly, it's going to be completely different standings.
Yeah. So you can go look that up on your own, listeners.
Exactly. Yeah, go look it up, and then someone tell me. Keep updating.
Just add us.
Just let us know.
Moving on.
Okay.
Houston Dash.
Yes.
Playoffs. That's coming up. Are you nervous? Are you excited? What are you feeling?
So by the time this episode comes out, we could already be in playoffs, or no, yeah. By the time this comes out, we're either in playoffs or not.
I mean,
yeah, because it'd be like after.
Well, Houston's like second right now.
Yeah. We got the scenarios to clinch because we can clinch this Wednesday with all the other games going on, or we can. I think it's winning in on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. There are a lot of scenarios, and I'm just getting confused.
I highly doubt that Houston doesn't make the playoffs.
You know, I've been around this club since its inception. And if anyone remembers 2021, everyone told us winning in. What did we do? Not win our last 3 games. Like, if we had won one of those, we would have been in. We were on the line the entire time.
Yeah.
And to make matters not worse, but I'm a little traumatized. We are once again ending our season in DC. So I'd love to go into DC already clinched. So fingers crossed. But I am everything about this team, like, is very exciting, and I'm very excited for them, and I'm very excited that we get to be in this position. But it's like, I'm not gonna lie, it's new. Like, we usually are not in the conversation for playoffs, so it's pretty cool. I'm also really nervous.
I'm nervous for Chicago, like just watching from afar, and it's like, I wish I could go to games. Like, I wish I could be there in person and cheer on, and it's like I gotta watch from my dorm room in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Did you watch when we went there last weekend? Because that was pretty fun.
Yeah, no comment on that.
2-0 for the season over Chicago Red Stars. Oof.
I've watched both games.
And they were so fun both times.
I just don't underestimate Ebony Sand. Like, it's just,
Yeah. She will find a way to score. That is true.
She's inevitable, and it's fine. It's okay. If anything, it's like I wanted her to succeed.
Right.
But not on Houston. Maybe somewhere else.
That sucks for you. That's all I have to say. We're having a great time over here.
I can tell.
It's fun. We like scoring. We like winning. It's a great time.
I mean, Houston's stacked. I'll admit it.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because sometimes people still don't put us in the conversation where I feel like the Dash.
How can you not?
What I'm saying, like, we're second on the table. I believe we have the most road wins for any team right now. I could be wrong. I feel like I read that stuff.
Sure.
So don't quote me on that. So no one take that and run with it because I might be wrong. But as of right now, I think we might have the most wins on the season on the road, which is so wild to me that we're somehow a road team and not a home team. But whatever, that's a whole different conversation. But no, I think the Dash have, especially with bringing in President Jess O'Neill and bringing in our first ever GM. Like, it's a very good direction that we're headed in. And I'm very excited to be here and get to see it all happen.
I'm excited for you. Also, at the same time, I'm going to be like,
That's fine. I'll take it.
I'm going to be petty and I'm going to be bitter.
You know,
as a true Red Stars fan.
I was petty and bitter for, God, what, 8 years with these, just as a Dash fan in general.
Yeah.
So I understand your pain.
I'm just going to be in so much pain until the end of the season.
You know, it'd be like that sometimes. I got nothing.
Being a soccer fan is hard.
It is very hard.
Especially when you like other teams.
Yeah.
Like the Chicago Fire.
Yeah. Wait, speaking of Chicago Fire, did you see what Charlotte FC did when they beat the Fire? They took the Chicago Fire logo and put a little fire extinguisher in the middle.
Now I gotta see. Now I gotta look.
I give props to the team at Charlotte FC. They have a very good creative team.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, if you don't watch men's soccer, that's okay. Or even don't watch the MLS, that's okay. I still recommend following Charlotte FC because their content is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Fires also have good content too.
Yes.
I do like their content. So yeah.
Let's see. Where in the world is
it might be on there. I don't remember if they put it on just their Instagram, but I know it was for sure on their
I thought
was it
Spirit Halloween on Soldier Field?
Yeah, that one was good too. That was pretty good.
Oh my god. That is upsetting.
You know, sometimes you just take the shots that are right in front of you, and it worked out wonderfully.
You're talking about...
Yeah.
I did not see that. That's interesting.
It's a good take on it. You know, because usually people just try to find a way to put an L in other people's logos. That's creative.
That is very creative. Yeah, I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly for the Chicago Fire.
Fair. You're a loyal fan. You've seen it through.
I mean, I did work there.
Oh, did you?
This past summer. I was selling 50-50 tickets. And I've seen the ugly, which is the New York Red Bulls game. And the good, Philadelphia, the win against Philadelphia. 1-0 win.
There you go.
The bad, we're going to say the Atlanta United game. 0-0 draw. Goal disallowed.
Tough. It's moments like those you don't really forget. It's so true, though. Speaking of this, there's one from my first season working with the Dash. We played Orlando, and as everyone knows, we have this whole rivalry thing with Orlando, which I think is hilarious, and I play it up all the time.
Yeah.
But it was, when was it? It was 2019 at home. It was I think honestly, it might have been my first game I'd ever worked for the Dash as an employee.
Whoa.
And I don't remember what the score was, but I remember this so vividly. There was the ball. I don't remember if someone shot the ball or if it got bounced off somewhere or whatever, but Haley Kottmeyer comes way out of her box, hits the ball away, and there's no handball called. She's not in her goalkeeper box. She's not in the 18. She's out. And they don't call anything. And the Orlando Pride tweeted, save, it was off her line or something. It was something along the lines of came off her line to save it, and we're yeah, way off her line, way off her line. It was you could screenshot it, and she was not in her box at all. Yeah, that should have been a handball. Yeah, I'm still thinking about it.
I would too. You know, but whatever.
Whatever. We move on.
We move on.
To bigger and better, being second on the table.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. I'll take sixth for the Red Stars. That's fine. We don't need to be the top. As long as we make the playoffs.
As long as they're in the playoffs, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, making the playoffs is important.
Would you like to participate in a lightning round?
I'm so bad at these, but yes. Why not?
That's okay. There's no pressure.
Okay.
The first question I always ask my guests is, if you're reading a book or listening to an audiobook right now, is there one that you would like to recommend for the listeners?
So this is gonna be really bad, but I haven't read in a very months. I have a book. I'm actually reading Daisy Jones and the Six. I've been reading it for months. It's on my nightstand with the bookmark in and everything. But Daisy Jones and the Six right now.
I'm not reading right now. I don't have time to read.
Yeah, me neither.
So when I ask these questions, I'm like, I should be reading a book.
Yeah, I have a bunch that I bought and haven't opened yet.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, I have a book. Someone sent me a book. I'm going to read it on my way to Purdue on the flight to Indianapolis.
There you go.
That's my plan.
I'm excited. Excited for you.
It's like I have a real book here. It's not like a online textbook that I have to read. It's amazing. Next question. What was your song of the summer?
Oh, why am I blanking on every song I've ever listened to at this point? Disaster by Conan Gray from Super 8, that his new album. Yeah, I can't explain it, but that was it.
I haven't listened to that yet. I haven't listened to his album.
My cousin thought that album was mid. I great, but I also like the way Conan Gray writes and just that type of music is very much. My friends get mad at me because all I play is sad songs, but that's just who I am as a person. So I will be playing sad songs.
I'm a Conan Gray fan. I just haven't listened to his new album yet.
You need to.
I will hopefully soon. Maybe on my trip to Indiana. Maybe
we're saving. But when you do, report back.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you my favorite and my least favorite.
There you go. Yeah.
Although how could I have a least favorite?
I do on this album, so.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I'll have to see later what that is.
I'm not gonna
any spoilers.
I want to see where you are on.
Okay. Okay. My next question for you is, who is someone on the Houston Dash that should not have access to the aux cord?
Ooh. Oh no.
Just call them out right now. It's okay.
Okay, so the thing is though, I don't listen enough to who's playing what at what time to give you a full answer on this. Cause last year, Christine Nairn was the DJ for the team, and then she retired, and that baton got passed on to Haley Hansen, and then now I think they just rotate, but I never know who's playing what songs. Yeah, I don't know. I think some of the girls listen to EDM, so anyone who's putting on EDM should not be on the aux. So sorry. Love you guys though.
That's amazing. We're EDM haters here.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
I used to listen to a ton of it in middle school, but that was a long time ago, and that's okay. I've grown up.
You've grown. You matured. So
I've matured, and I listen to Conan Gray. So
there you go. There are two people. So
the next question for you is, what is the superior season?
I'm a summer girl all the way. I love summer. It gets hot here and it's humid and gross, but I love feeling the sun on my skin.
I would disagree with that, because if I feel the sun on my skin, it just immediately turns the color of my shirt, which is red, by the way.
Yeah, that makes sense. That checks out. I just get darker. So.
I hear the comments. It's oh, Gianna's putting sunscreen on again. Yeah, so I don't flipping burn.
Oh, sunscreen
obviously.
Even if you don't burn, please wear sunscreen.
Yeah, wear your sunscreen.
People who think they're cool and don't wear sunscreen, you're gonna have skin cancer. Yeah.
Wear your sunscreen.
This is actually just a podcast to advocate for sunscreen now. So
yeah. Some brand needs to hit me up.
Yeah.
I will gladly take your money to read some.
Someone sponsor her. She wears her sunscreen all the time. She'll even post
sunscreen for life.
There you go.
Love sunscreen. I wear it every day.
Hey, me too.
I have weird tan lines on my niece, from not wearing sunscreen. So ever since then, been wearing sunscreen every day.
Good job.
I'm proud of myself for doing the bare minimum.
Me too.
My final lightning round question for you is, what is your favorite restaurant in Houston?
I'm gonna go with there's just so many. It's like there's so many. I don't think people understand the thing about Houston is it's very diverse. I feel like a lot of people don't know what Houston is. They just kind of see Texas and they're like, ew, gross. No, like we're very diverse. There are very many different types of foods here. Like there are so many different cultures here. Like it genuinely, like you can, like there are so many good food places. Like that's why I tell everyone when they come here, like you need to just go look up restaurants and just go try food. But for my favorite restaurant, I will say, oh, this is so hard. I don't want to say a chain because that's kind of lame. Actually, this is because I just had this for dinner yesterday, but Hop Dottie, it's a burger place. They have the best Parmesan truffle fries I've ever had in the entire world. And I'm a big fries girl. So please eat. If you don't even eat burgers, that's fine. Just go to get the fries. They have a great aioli sauce with it. I highly recommend.
When I'm down in Houston, if I'm down in Houston, I'll check that place out.
And then let me know so I can also come and get fries.
Okay. Lightning round over. But the episode's not over yet because we're doing shout outs now. Is there anyone that you would like to shout out tonight?
Ooh. Well, if you're not following the Houston Dash on all social platforms, what are you doing? Go follow. Not even because I run the socials, but because this team deserves the world, in my opinion. I think they're full of personality, and honestly, even if you don't like us on the field, you like the best people. So follow them. Shout out to my boy Logan Ball. He is our videographer for the Dash. He kills it all the time. He is also very funny, and honestly, he's just so good at his job. Like, go give him attention. He's gonna hate that I said this because he hates when people give him credit for anything, but he's freaking fantastic. Who else would I like to give a shout out to? Ooh, I feel like people are gonna get mad at me if I don't give a shout out now. Dang, I'm really blanking. We're gonna throw my sister in there, just because she's my sister. Shout out to my sister Bree and my older sister Joanna, because family is very important to me. So I sound so cheesy, and like the fact that I'm saying this right now, I'm like, what possessed you? Because I'm not I'm not like this at all. Like I don't show affection very much or like verbally say things that matter to people in this way. So that just proves how much I love them. I think. And then shout out to my dog Thor, who's in the other room. I think that's it. I think I'm done.
Wonderful list of shout outs.
Thank you. Thank you.
Round of applause. Quiet round of applause. So I don't blow up my microphone. Final part is, of course, where can people follow you on social media?
I am on literally every platform. My Instagram, Twitter. I mean, honestly, I think I have the same app for everything. It's Bianca B. Verar. Follow me. Honestly, if you DM me or tweet me, I will definitely respond if you want to say hi, or even if you just have questions, because I think I had no idea my job was a job when I started college and even halfway through college. So I'm happy to attempt to help any way I can. I can't promise I'll give you a straight answer, but like I will do my best.
Amazing.
Thank you for having me.
Now it's time for my least favorite part of the episode, which is my ending spiel. Because that's what it is. It's a little spiel. Gotta like center myself and be like,
you can do it.
It's time. This is my second time doing it today, so it's gonna be different than last time, of course, because it's not. I don't read from a script. If you think I read from a script on this show, you're a new fan, because you know that I don't do that if you've been listening for a while. Anyway, if you want to follow me on social media, guess what? You can. I'm on 4 different platforms. On Twitter, it is W Sports Matter, and on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, it is Women's Sports Matter. It's so easy to follow the show because it's the name of it. So you're like, oh my God, how can I follow Women's Sports Matter on Twitter? Oh, you type in the name of the show. You're welcome. I made it super easy for you. If you want to watch this episode and others, make sure you're subscribed to the Women's Sports Matter YouTube page. It's got great content and you can watch the episodes. What? It's amazing. I know. I did it myself. I'm the first podcaster to ever do it in the entire world. So you're welcome. Got a bunch of great resources linked down below. Register to vote, NAMI Trevor Project, find a vaccine, all the players associations for women's sports leagues or professional women's sports leagues in the United States. So the WNBA, PHF, NWSL, link to the Black Women's Players Collective. What else is there to promote? I don't know. What is going on? I'm just kidding. I know what else there is to promote. Go follow Don't Touch My Jersey and More Than 5%, which are the 2 other podcasts, a part of the Women's Sports Matter podcast network. And if you're not following them and you're following me, go follow the rest of the family. It takes a lot of time to get these 2 podcasts up and running. Go show them love and support. Shout out to C. Rivers, Carly Jackson, and Zoe Hicks for being a part of the Women's Sports Matter family. They're amazing. They host amazing shows. And what's not to love? It's Women's Sports Matter content that's accessible on your phone, which is amazing, of course. I think that's all I got today. Bianca, thank you again so much for coming on this week's episode of Women's Sports Matter. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be here.
Of course, thank you for having me. This was fun. This was very laid back, very chill. I promise she's not reading from a script.
I am not reading from a script because I would never do that to everyone. And you would definitely know if I was reading from a script because I wouldn't be talking like this. I'd be like, the dog jumped over the ball. No, I'm kidding. I could read something here, but I'm not going to do that because I already did my ending spiel and I'm not doing it again. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Women's Sports Matter. Again, my name is Gianna Belcastro and I am your host. I'll see you next week, possibly with another interview. Maybe. We'll see. That's all, folks. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, this is Gianna Castro, host of Women's Sports Matter. Just wanted to tell you a few things before we get into today's episode. Number 1, this episode was recorded 2 weeks ago, which means not everything is up to date. For example, Houston did make the playoffs. However, Houston lost yesterday, along with the Chicago Red Stars. You can catch Kansas City playing against OL Reign and Portland playing against San Diego on October 23rd. There's an update for you. The second one is I want to give you a little update about this show. We have a few more interviews left before we say goodbye to season number 4. I'll have an ending episode. You'll know when it's the season 4 finale. So just wanted to give a little heads up about that show. I have a new podcast. We'll do a little self-plugging here. Number 3, I have a new podcast. It's for school. It's called A Transfer Student's Guide to Make Nebraska Feel Like Home. So if you want to listen to that, if you want to listen to me do other podcast stuff outside of Women's Sports Matter, you can go check that out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, along with Anchor. I don't know if I have any other updates. If you want to follow the continuing domino effect of the Yates investigation, make sure you're following me on Twitter at WSportsMatter, as long as my personal account at Gianna Bell Castro, where I will be constantly retweeting and talking about different things that have to do with this, as well as where we can go from here. I think that is it. I hope you're all listening to More Than 5%. And Don't Touch My Jersey will be making a comeback soon, in case you've been curious about what's going on with that show. And I have an announcement coming soon. Very excited to talk about that when I can. But for now, we're going to wait. And thanks for listening to this update. Now, here's Conversation O'Clock. Enjoy.